Blackwater started with a vision. Founder Eugene Uriarte's goal was to create a fully custom, limited production, extremely fast, steady, dry boat for both sport fishing and family activities. His dream came true, and he opened up his factory with just a few employees that were dedicated to his vision. Boats Direct USA teamed up with Blackwater in 2010 when they were producing just 1 to 2 boats per year. Today, you'll see how big Blackwater has grown over the last 3 years, especially with the addition of the 43-foot model and the legendary Ocean Hawk line. Blackwater will always be a full custom, extremely limited production boat. Let's take you inside our new factory.
So Carl, tell me about what we have behind us.
Behind us is the mold for the 43. It's upside down like that. We're keeping it clean right now until we go to make the next part, which will be in the next week or so.
Nice.
We'll be laying up another one. What you'll see on the mold itself is all the metal pipe work. The metal pipe work holds it structurally together. When you put the fiberglass in and you start doing your lamination, as everything cures, you get a lot of heat. So it's really important that you hold the mold completely still. Nothing flexes, nothing. That's why our boats look so beautiful when you pull them out.
That's part of the secret. We can't tell anyone.
A lot of the good guys, they know. It's all made the same way. But what happens is we pull a part out. Like this, when we get ready to lay it up, we'll turn the mold sideways. The guys will get in there, they'll wax it, they'll clean it. Then they start laying gel coat. They'll go in and lay layers of fiberglass. And as it gets ready, then they put the overhead cranes and they pull it out. And you'll see back in the back, one of the boats outside right now that we're doing some work on right now. We're making some pieces parts for the inside.
That's too exciting. I mean, the 43 Blackwater truly breaks the mold. When you're talking about fuel efficiency amongst the competition, right? Isn't that the biggest?
Yeah, it's size. There's a lot of guys that have big boats in a 42, 43, 44 size. The biggest problem is engines. You're having to hang 4 motors on the boat to get any kind of performance. It works, but we strive to have something that would run in the 60s, low 60-mile-an-hour range. It's going to be about an 18,000-pound boat when it's loaded up with gear. We're thinking 62, 63 miles an hour with triple 350s. Most boats in that size are requiring 4 engines to do that. So it's one more engine for maintenance, a little bit harder to insure a 4-engine boat. We'll have an option for the 4-engine guy that wants to go faster and burn more fuel happily.
Right.
But in the interim, the goal was to be able to get this big boat to run with triples.
It's going to be a great poker run boat, isn't it?
Yeah, poker run boat, family boat, the amount of seating in the boat.
Yeah, the
I mean,
dual
you bring
seating
2 families.
Amazing.
Yeah, dual seating, you got forward seating in the front, multiple layouts. The biggest thing that's going to be different in our 43 is going to be the inside of the console. A typical big boat like this, you open the console door and there's a head in there, or maybe a head and a sink. In ours, you're going to have a head, a sink, a little galley. You're going to have an area where 4 people can sleep, and a flip-up area, so you have a little couch and that downstairs. So it's going to be usable for those guys that are making a long run out to the canyons to do fishing. They have somewhere they can overnight in the boat, and yet it's a big open boat. They still got all the room in it.
Nice. Well,
family-wise, you just pile them in. You know, dive doors on the side of the boat, the whole bit.
So the ultimate family or fishing boat is awaiting you. I say we bring our viewers to check it out.
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
The best deals on cars now in Miami, it's on. Come on. Offleaseonly.com. The best deals on cars now in Miami, it's on. I'll save you thousands, that's the fact. Best deals on cars on your US map. Hands down, no fooling around, no BS, no hidden fees, no need for stress. We got Audis, Mercedes, Toyotas, and Ford, BMWs, Honda Accords, Jags, Infinities, Bentleys, Mazdas. Hablamos español. ¿Qué pasa? Best service in town, we set the bar. Call 954-222 cars. 954-222 cars. Now in Miami, you're not too far. Off of Red Road, south of 826. Come on, Google it, you can find us quick. Offleaseonly.com. Trade-ins, big savings, it's on. We got over 1,000 cars in stock. Get financed in minutes and drive up the lot. Now in Miami, off Red Road in between 826 and the Granny, by the Opelika Airport, and in Palm Beach on Lake Worth Road, just west of Congress. Offleaseonly.com.
Here she is, what you've all been waiting to see up close and personal. Carl, please, drum roll, the 43.
Yeah, what you see behind you, basically let's call it a plug or a hull.
Okay.
We pulled it from the mold. What we're doing, you'll see the finished work on the outside of the boat. That's production. That's how the boat's going to look. It's going to be that smooth. It's going to be that, you know, everything is that beautiful.
And that's why Eugene, he takes a lot of time on his boats because he cares so much about making each one perfect. Sometimes it drives us going crazy.
It's again, like we said before, it's a double-edged sword. Boy, you'd love to have something really fast, but at the same time, do you really want it really fast, or do you really want it everything perfect?
On point.
Eugene, being a perfectionist, really takes his time doing it.
Yeah.
What we did here with the boat, we pulled it out. You can see it's in a framework that holds the boat structurally sitting still on the floor so nothing moves. And now what we do, what you'll see in a little bit, we go inside the boat and you'll see us starting to form in the seating, the structural pieces on it. Then we're kind of laying out the walls on the inside of the boat, how kind of where the floor is going to be. And then we make molds from all those parts.
Right. Well, you guys want to come on inside so we can check it out a little further? Come on.
And what you're looking at here, you'll see some of the forward seating area. Again, we form it all in with wood. We sand down the edges, kind of smooth it all out, sit on it, see how it's going to feel. Did we make it the right dimension? Did we make it the right size? Can you lay down on it? Once that's done, once all these pieces are done that you see, you get them as smooth as you can get them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull a mold from the top of that. So what you'll end up with, like we were standing in the other boat, that's the whole top mold of the boat that it's going to be. So you'll have the hull, you'll have the stringer system going in the boat, and then this piece is going to go on here, which is the floor and the sidewalls.
That's incredible, Carl. What are you most excited about this boat?
Well, it's fun because you can play with it. You know, you build something and you stand back and look at it and go, that's not going to work. Or, hey, that was great. Or maybe we can change this. And what's nice when you're playing with wood, you just cut it all apart. Now, that wood doesn't go in the boat. It's not structural. You throw it away when you're done, but it's what you use to make the mold. When he's looking towards the back of the boat like that, the big gap you see towards the back, you'll see next to the saw, there's a little place where there's 2 boxes of screws. That's a step, so when you get in the boat, because these big boats are so deep,
right,
people always step off the dock and half the time fall into the boat, but that's a step so they can step into. Just ahead of that, the big gap you see, that's where the dive door will be. And that requires extra structural work. That's why there's so much structure around that, because we've cut a hole in the boat, so now you have to reinforce it everywhere else.
It's fun working with people like you guys. You have so much experience. You know what not to do and what to do. So you save your customers so much time and money that way, right?
Well, it's not only that. A guy buying a boat this size, a lot of times, some of it's the project. They get into actually understanding how the boat's built and telling their friends. And, you know, most of the time you go to a boat show, look at this white boat. It's really cool. But you don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
This is kind of neat. You actually know something about the boat.
Well, let's actually show them more of the stringer system and a little bit more about what it takes to build a boat.
Sure. All right, we're looking here at the stringer system for a 36 Blackwater. The difference you'll see, it's not that pretty shiny red color that I was telling you about. The reason it's done like that, this needs to come out of the mold with more of a texture to it. So when you're bonding to it, everything's got something more to bite and grip on. But notice how the stringer system's built, how structurally sound it is, how nice everything and uniform it fits. Now this is a 36 console mold. This one inside would be bright shiny red because when this part pops out, has to have a perfect finish. The hull in the background, that's the hull for the 36 Blackwater. There's one in the mold there too, but we're going to pop out here very shortly. And then towards the back here, you're going to see some of the different equipment, the gel coat guns. You'll see a lot of different molds and hatches and pieces parts. That's all part of the other molds we were talking about. Maybe a floor hatch, maybe a door.
As you can see and as you can hear, there's non-stop work here at the Blackwater factory because we are working hard to get all of our customers' boats delivered. Right, Carl?
Yeah, absolutely. It's 5:30 in the afternoon and we're still going at it. Behind us you'll see a boat, another one we're getting ready for carousel.
Okay.
You know, this boat with the hull and deck are together and the next thing is going to rub rail's going to come on.
Nice. A lot of really great boats going to carousel.
Yeah, that's the guy that has the first one down there, taking a lot of people for rides and they've seen how it does. And it's actually 2 different customers. Wow. They just happen to be ordering right about the same time.
Nice. Well, again, if you need to hit it hard in that Blackwater chop, I like to call it, and stay dry, this is a beautiful option, our 36.
Right.
So, Carl, this would be the latest development on the 36 Blackwater, right?
Yeah, this is actually part of the 36 Sport that's coming. What we did is we changed the back where there's normally 2 live wells in the boat. We made this into a full bench back seat, optional bolsters if you wanted it. But the cool part about it is storage below, but we also double and triple insulated it with foam, so it's actually a gigantic cooler at the same time.
Wow.
Now this is something you can have optionally on any of the 36s. It'll be standard on a 36 Sport. And then we've also designed another live well, so behind the leaning post you still have a big live well. It still can be a fishing boat.
So these are going to be really nice additional seating for the boat. So Carl, this would be one of our latest customer boats in production, right?
Yeah, we're building 2 boats right now. They're going to Curacao. There's already one of the earlier boats is down there already. Rough water area, people really see the benefits of the boat. This one actually we'll show you a little bit later, but so what happened is we modified the back seat of this boat to actually like a bench seat, like some of the other, like the Statement we sell, same thing. But we put that in the boat. He wanted that in the back of the boat. We did a little bit different live well behind the leaning post, more of a dedicated live well instead of the sliding pool.
And they're working on it now. We're trying to get it out to our customers, right, Carl?
Yeah, they know what they're supposed to be doing, and we're trying to hit deadlines. We got the shows coming.
Well, this is some major production, and you know what? The 36s are truly flying out the door. I mean, we have these on the fishing tournament circuit with the SKA, and from what all of our guys say is if you want to get to the fish faster, that 36 tournament edition is great. Now, this is the sport
This
edition.
is still the normal 36.
Okay.
It's kind of a hybrid in between. We do have a 36 Sport coming, and what's going to happen is we're actually modifying the front of the boat for a dedicated forward seating area instead of the fold-out seats. It's going to have a bolster-style seat, right-hand, left-hand steering wheel, but truly kind of more for the hot rod guy, the guy that might fish a little bit, but he wants to run around fast and, you know, twins or triples. Something you could take on a poker run or play if you wanted to. Take the family out, do what you want to do. So we'll end up with the TE, which you've seen, the fishing tournament boat. That's got the narrower console, the live wells front and rear. You're going to see the standard 36, which is what we've been building, and then the 36 Sport is coming right behind it.
Excellent. Well, we have a lot in production here at Boats Direct USA in Blackwater. Let's go ahead and check out another boat, you guys. So now we're in front of some more Blackwaters in production, and it's so exciting to see how much the factory has grown over the years.
Yeah, the first location we had, which was small, we outgrew it with just a regular 36 because you can imagine the size of the parts, the molds that, you know, there's molds for all kinds of different pieces. On the 36 you have a hull mold, a stringer mold, the floor, then the cap, you know, and it's all huge stuff.
Right.
So we outgrew that, and then we started talking about building a 43, and it's ridiculous. So we moved the plant, and then we bought Ocean Hawk also and put that in here. So we've got all these different molds coming up in here right now. The boats behind us, you're going to see this is a blue one we're getting done for a customer right now. We're waiting on the custom painted motors coming back in. It's something we did a little different. The gel coat on the whole boat is like a cream color instead of a bright white. A little easier on the eyes, just to show one other option. You know, again, the Bahama blue paint because people like that.
Yeah.
The beige boat actually behind us right now, that's boat number 1. That was the very first 36 Blackwater.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got it in. We're changing out some of the pumps and different things, and a different setup in there for the guy that fishes a lot.
Aw, right
That's
on.
Captain maintained boat from 2007. I mean, you look at it, how well it's held up over the years.
It looks like a brand new boat. I had no idea.
It's actually really cool. And he's a great reference. I mean, we talked to him. The guy's had the boat in all kinds of waters. He tows it behind, you know, whatever he's dragging. He's always following the big boat around. But he's great. He can give people a first-hand reference as to how the boat runs in the rough and the calm. You know, how can you fish it? How about driving people around? He does a little bit of everything because that's the tender for the boat. Far in the distance, you see the nose of the Ocean Hawk sticking out. That's one of those we're trying to get ready for a show coming up very shortly.
Now that's the exciting part of this, the cigarette, sexy, sleek styling with the go fast and the super dry ride. I can't wait to get out on the Ocean Hawk, Carl.
It's a neat boat. It's funny because when we bought the company, one of the things you do is you want to talk to people. I've known the boat for years, but you talk to people that owned it or had the boat. And we called the people in the users list, and one of the most unique things you've seen is everyone had the same comment. I love my boat, you're not getting it from me, or I'm upset that I sold it and I bought something different and it just isn't the same. But when we get into the Ocean Hawk, I'll explain there's really some differences. It's not just the look, it's the construction of the boat, the way the boat was built. It's not for everybody, but it's one of my favorites too at the same time.
And actually, the owner, Mark Fisher, took a spin at the charity event we just did, the fun
Yeah, we
run.
jumped in.
And you guys had a blast out on the water. In fact, we couldn't find you for our jet ski giveaway. You were tearing up the water.
Well, we went out, and Mark had never ridden in one, so we went out and, you know, seeing him. We went out and jumped in one of the guys that owns one down there, and we were out diving through boat wakes and just, you know, it's amazing.
All right, well, let's go ahead and let's come inside a little bit more so we can really bring you guys into the beauty and the detail that goes into every custom Blackwater and now Ocean Hawk.
That's why we brought it here.
Yay! Boats Direct USA exclusive announcement. The Ocean Hawk 33 powerboat is, holy cow, Carl.
Well, this is one of the Ocean Hawk 33s right here that we're working on. We're getting this ready for a show, about a week and a half or so. That's why you hear everybody in here humping. But this is a good example. Most of the boats will come out, and we have the option of custom painting the boats. We have Richie used to paint the silverettes.
Oh, nice.
And then what we have is, we're going to probably do some of the boats in white, because for me to try to pick the custom paint that the customer's going to want, they won't want it. So we'll use like a neutral kind of interior. Right now we put vinyl on the side that'll say Ocean Hawk, and then as soon as the guy decides what he wants, we can custom do the rest of the boat for him.
From mild to wild, you've got the best from cigarette on actually painting it, huh?
Well, he was one of the painters that used to work there. He does a lot of painting here in Miami, motorcycles, cars. Excellent painter. He's painted two of my friends' boats, and he was all excited about the project too.
All right, so basically whatever you dream up, we can definitely create for your out shell of the boat, right,
And you can see behind us the go fast look of the hull. It's just a phenomenal boat. We'll talk a little bit about the structure of the boat, what makes it different.
This is a really nice boat if you love that go fast model and you like the cabin comfort, but you probably want to save some money on fuel, right?
Yeah, a little bit of that. The biggest thing with this boat is the structure. Super strong. The cabin's a little nicer. Typically in these size boats, you'll see the competition's boats, they just kind of have a bed in there, or just cushions. What this has got is facing lounges. It's got a real bed you could actually sleep in the front. It's got a head area in there. It's got forward seating option in the boat. It's only an 8-foot beam, but that's what makes it run so good in the rough water.
Nice, yeah, super, super dry, solid ride, I've been told.
That's the biggest part.
All right, well, let's take you guys on board.
This is a good shot from the top and the back. What we're doing is the console in the boat. As we're putting some of the hatches on the boat, we're starting to fit some of the pieces where the upholstery's going in. We're doing a new bolster seat design that I can slide a cooler underneath, so we're going to mock up something here and then have that one cut for this boat. And then the back seats coming, the radar arch and that'll be here tomorrow. But it's just kind of an overview picture. You can see off in the distance into the cabin with the lounge seats a little bit. Really, even if we lit it up, you wouldn't see that much right now, but just gives you an idea of the size of the boat inside and the layout.
No hidden fees, no need for stress. We got Audis, Mercedes, Toyotas, and Ford, BMWs, Honda Accords, Jags, Infinities, Bentleys, Mazdas. Hablamos español. ¿Qué pasa? Service town, we set the bar. Call 954-222 cars. 954-222 cars. Now in Miami, you're not too far. Off a red road, south of 826. Come on, Google it, you find us quick. Offleaseonly.com. Trade-ins, big savings, it's on. We got over 1,000 cars in stock. Get financed in minutes and drive up the lot. Now in Miami, off Red Road in between 826 and the Granny by the Opelika Airport, and in Palm Beach on Lake Worth Road, just west of Congress. Offleaseonly.com.
So you want to build your dream boat? Well, you need to start somewhere. So I'm going to ask Carl to kind of take you through the boat building practice of our 33 Ocean Hawk.
Well, this is the lamination side of the building, the dirtier, nastier, stickier part.
It's not for us girls over here, no.
But what you see behind us, we're standing in front of the mold for the 33 Ocean Hawk. What'll happen again, just like on the 43, they get ready to build the mold, they'll turn it sideways, they'll clean it, they'll wax it, then they spray the gel coat, then they go in and start laying in the layers of the fiberglass or the chlorine or whatever's going to happen in the boat. Right now, like you see, this has already been glass cured, they'll scuff sand it. It's ready for the second part that goes in that we'll show you in a little bit, which is the whole liner basically. It's got everything, including the cabin, which is what makes the boat so different. But in this room, you'll also see different molds. You'll see some molds are like a bright red, really nice and shiny. That's done so that it's the finish. That's what you see when you see the finished part of the boat.
Gotcha.
And then you look at other molds and they'll just be a dull kind of ugly looking. That's, you know, they come out more grainy, better for adhesion, better for sticking stuff to it.
Okay. And this, actually, how many pieces go into building the boat, Carl?
There's actually a lot of pieces. That's a misconception. People look at a boat and say, wow, that's pretty easy to build. Some of these boats can have 70 molds, 80 molds. You know, for every little fiberglass part, and if we got Eugene on the camera, he'd probably just start screaming, but every little fiberglass part needs to be made, trimmed, fitted.
Right.
It's a lot of work going in.
Right.
Major structural parts, most boats are like a 3 or a 4 piece, maybe even a 2 depending, 2 and a half kind of thing, depending on how they build it. Some are built pretty cheap, but the better higher end boats might be a 2-piece or a 3-piece kind of structure. This boat, I call it as a 3-piece boat. You have the hull, you have the liner that's going in, which is basically your stringer structure cabin, and then you have a cap that goes on top of that, and then all the auxiliary pieces are going in. The Blackwater, that would be a 4-piece boat because there's actually stringers and then a floor that goes above it.
Okay, so basically the 3-piece mold is really what makes this a rock solid boat.
Yeah, the typical way that you're going to build a boat like this, you'd start with this kind of a hull with a big opening, and then somebody says they want to make a bed in the front, so they'll cut a piece of foam and they'll lay it on top of the stringer system that's in the boat, which is the structure, the grid that goes in the boat. They'll lay that on top and they'll screw it or glass it. And, you know, that's kind of what you build, but that isn't as strong as if the whole boat was made that way, one piece, like you'll see on this. If you picture trying to break that, it's actually fairly easy. If you look at the way this boat's put together, it's actually almost impossible. It's just a whole different way. Much more time consuming, much more expensive to do it, but at the end of the day, it's just a rock solid boat.
And we have these Ocean Hawks starting at actually $159.
These are top caps. One is a 36 Blackwater, the one against the wall, that's a 33 Ocean Hawk. And that's basically the 3rd piece of the 3-piece boat. So you have the hull, you have the liner that we just shot a minute ago, and then you're going to put the cap on. That's the finishing piece that's on the top of the boat. All bonded together, structurally becomes one. The Blackwater, same thing. This is the top cap of the Blackwater. That's a 4-piece boat. You'll have the hull, the stringer system, then you put the liner in with the floor, and then you're going to have the top cap. Looking at here, this is actually the plug for the 43. This is the first part of the process after the drawing. They make a wood frame. They cover the wood frame with some, like a shell that goes over the top of it. It's like an acrylic that they do a bunch of layers on. It's all CNC machined to make sure it's all straight. This is what they true, they sand, they finish. Then they make the mold from this part. The big mold that we saw inside with all the steel pipework. This is where it comes from. And then once we popped out the first hull, this is also how we made the inside wall wood. At this point, quite a shame, but we actually cut this up and throw it away so nobody copies it.
The time and care that goes into each fully custom Blackwater is unlike any other boat builder in the market. Boats Direct USA works directly with the factory to ensure that all your needs are met and that you stay in constant communication on your new boat's progress. If you're ready to experience a ride like no other, prepare yourself to experience Blackwater. Boats Direct USA is proud to sponsor the Blackwater fishing team, who's been winning major tournaments on the SKA circuit. If you want to get to the fish faster, Blackwater is a serious fishing boat that will bring good luck and great times to your team. Boats Direct USA is proud to be the exclusive Blackwater dealer for the USA. We love working directly with the factory to make sure that your boat is custom built to all the specs you're looking for. Fully custom, limited production is what you can expect from each Blackwater. Log on to boatsdirectusa.com now to search for your dream Blackwater, then give us a call toll-free 866-377-5403.